Hello everyone. Today I am showing you different banknotes of different countries that use UV ink in some sort of another for different patterns that make up security feature. So I'll be showing you different banknotes and I'll be showing you the patterns that glow in under UV light. So first thing first, I will not be featuring very generic UV ink features like the small grainy pattern that you see in some notes. We have here is a Malawi note 20 kachwa, and if you look it under the UV light, you see these small little grains everywhere. So this I will not be featuring, as this is something that's used in many of the countries, and this thing I don't feel it's needed to be represented in a different section for every note. So all of the notes that feature this, I'll be excluding them other than this Malawi note, of course. So let's get started. Now I have with me is a Sri Lankan rupee note. So as you can see, this is a 20 rupee note and it features very beautiful patterns, and we have owl on the front and some folk dance in a vertical design. So this in itself is a very beautiful note even without the UV ink, but under the UV light you can see that on the back side there is not much, practically nothing here, but when you flip the note, that's when things start to get interesting. So here, if I glow the UV light, you will see that $20 denomination appear on the top left side. So this is a fairly cool feature for this note. As you can see on the front, we have the $20 denomination and some of those patterns that we have earlier talked about of the grains, but we will not talk about them. We'll just looking at the $20 denomination on the Sri Lankan banknote. Next I have with me is this note from Madagascar, and this is a very small note in terms of size, and it is a beautiful note. And on the back we have this frog with some red color prominently visible on the image. However, you would guess that this is the part that will glow under the UV light, but that's not the case. As you can see, it's not the green part that glows. However, the security strip glows under UV light. There is nothing else here other than this small pattern of a turtle here with the denomination, and even on the front side you can see that there is this security strip that glows under UV light and nothing else on the front. Here you can see that the security strip is quite prominent under the UV light, and on the back hand side, like I told you before, that there is a pattern of a tortoise with the denomination written on it, and here we have the security strip glowing under the UV light. Now these are the Indian notes. As you can see, this is the 10 rupee note, this is a 500 rupee note, and this is a 20 rupee note. And yes, this does feature some security in terms of UV ink. As you can see that the security strips glow under the UV light. That is also the case with the 10 rupee note. And if we turn the note to the back side, we will see that this same strip also glows under UV light here, like in the 500 rupee note. Like earlier we didn't see any glow on the front side, but it is visible when you look at the 500 rupee note from the back. So this is a cool security feature. However, there are no other pattern or such on this Indian rupee note like we see in the form of Madagascar note, where the security strip glows, but also there is a slight pattern of a turquoise here. Nothing like that on the Indian rupee note. Next I have with me is the Malaysian ringgit note. Now this is the 1 ringgit note and it's a polymer note, so it feels pretty nice in hand. And if we look it through UV light, there is nothing as such on the front, as you see. But if we turn the note to the back, we will see that there is nothing much on the back as well. However, at this angle you can see a small pattern appears, like very intricate little lines, and a huge 1 ringgit denomination with smaller 1 digit written inside of it. So this is a pretty cool pattern here, and looking at it you can see that the pattern behind the denomination of 1 is still there. It's not easily being picked up in the camera, but you can make it out in certain places. Like if you just look at it light, there's nothing, but under UV light there it is. And this note also, you know, is pretty beautifully made with lots of UV ink on the back, but on the front there is nothing to show. Now next we have with us is this note from Bahamas. This is a pretty big note. As you can see, it features the image of the Queen. This is half a dollar, like 50 cents, and it is a pretty decent note in itself. As you can see that this little strip of ink that appears at different angles, and it's a vertical note, but on the front it is a horizontal like rest of the other notes. But the most coolest feature is its UV ink, which is only this little salamander on the note that glows under UV rays. On the back, if I show you this half a dollar note, you can see that there is nothing such for UV ink. But the coolest feature of this note has to be the salamander on the front, which glows beautifully under the UV light. Now next I have with me is the $10 Hong Kong dollar note. This is a colonial note. As you can see, it was when British powers were already in control of the colony, then this note was issued to the public. Now, as you might know or may not know, that Hong Kong, there are different banks that can issue currency. So this is by HSBC, or the Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation. Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation is an UK entity even now, but it was very prominent in Hong Kong, and it still is. And they issued this note back when Britain was still in control of the colony. So on the front we have this denomination that appears under the UV ink in 2 places. On the back there is nothing that glows. but it's only have these two 10 digits that glow under the UV ink. Now lastly I have with me are these two notes from Lebanon, and these feature some of the UV ink on it on the front. As you can see that the denomination appears a big pattern on the left and smaller patterns in the middle, and slightly to the right there is another pattern. It is true again for this note as well, which features only one big prominent digit on the front in the middle. So if we look it again, then you can see that there's the denomination there, and then there's a smaller denomination there and a medium denomination here on this note, and on this one we have this small pattern to denote the denomination, and here a bigger pattern on the middle and one smaller pattern here as well. This one has 3 patterns here, here and here, and this also has 3 patterns here, here and here. On the back side, if we flip these notes, you can see Lanka de Lebanon printed on it, and under the UV ink you won't find any pattern or anything. All of that UV ink is used in the front. So that was the video, guys. So what did you think about the video? And let me know in the dungeon below. Please, if you like this video, do click on the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you want to see any more videos like this. So thanks for watching, and do subscribe and like this video. Thank you.